What's up, y'all? I need to charge everything. What's up? Happy Sunday, beautiful people. What up, though? Hey, everybody. What's up, sexy people? Hey, Cordell. I see you, brother. How are you? Hey, D-Tuggle. I see you. What up, though? What it do, beautiful people? My phone is about to die. So, I wanted to come on here and first of all say happy Sunday to everybody. I hope you guys are having a fabulous Sunday. I'm giving very much auntie. Right. Very old school in my Gorillas, honey. Very old school in the Gorillas, baby. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. Don't play with it. So, couple things I wanted to come on here and say. You guys, I woke up almost wanting to choose violence today. I'm just going to keep it all the way real with y'all. I woke up. That's why I got my curlers in. Because you know what I'm saying? At least y'all got these earrings. What up, Kuwait? I see you. What's up? At least y'all got these earrings. Y'all ain't getting no lip chap or nothing. So tonight, I'm still debating as to whether or not I'll be able to do. I love you too, Kuwait. I love you, love you, love you. I'm trying to determine whether or not I'm going to do a live tonight. I got so much shit going on. It's a lot going on. You guys know it's been a very welcome. Come on in. You guys know it's been a very hectic few weeks with this presidential election. And Tuesday is a very important day. This time change is crazy, right? This time change is crazy. But I'm working on, I've shared with you guys for a few years that I'm working on my, can y'all hear me okay? I'm assuming you can, because if y'all couldn't hear me, then y'all would have let me know by now. But I share with you guys that, I've been working on a doc for a few years, right? And I've been spending some time watching a few documentaries because we're trying to decide, I've been pulling everything together. It has been triggering on so many levels, right? I have to be really careful because I'm one of those people who tells the truth and shames the devil. I don't care at this point. I'm 54 years old. Life is life, and so much stuff is going on. And I've been trying to figure out the right timing of the release of the documentary. So I decided to wait and release it in tandem with our 30-year anniversary album, which is coming at the top of 2025. January 11th is the date that we're looking at. We're trying to decide if we're going to actually release the album on the same date or we're going to release another single. Because, we're finishing a whole album and, we're just hoping that the timing of all of it is ready to go. Speaking of finishing a whole album, if you have not already, please, I love y'all to pieces. If after this live, you go to all of your streaming platforms, Apple, Spotify, all of them. Some real interesting things happening over there on that Apple streaming platform. But I'm not going to get into it yet until I figure out what's really going on. But I'm going to have a conversation with the folks over at Apple. It just really makes it clear to me that when it comes to this streaming thing, right, the people who own these streaming platforms, they can do whatever the hell they want to do, right? And what I'm noticing is that our new version of If You Love Me, the acapella version of If You Love Me is showing our streams and it's being saved to a lot of playlists. You guys make sure y'all save it to the playlist. Because that is how the robots and the algorithm and the motherfuckers who aren't running this country understand that you're interested in it, right? I used to believe numbers didn't lie, people do, but now numbers, starting to get kind of funny style too. So you guys just make sure you continue to stream it. I just noticed that there's some funny business going on, but all of us, all Black women, BIPOC women, indigenous folks, men who support Kamala Harris for president, who support equality and equity and inclusion and shit. A lot of us are finding that we are not getting access to many of you. I talk about it every single time I go live because I want them to know and I want y'all to know. I think we've entered a space in this industry, in this world where truth spoken to power, every opportunity you have with your motherfucking chest is the most important thing you can do, right? We are all going through a lot. This is a time filled with anxiety. If you saw my previous post, Please like that post. Please engage with that post. Not because it's going to make my head swell up and these rollers going to pop off, but because the only way I can continue to reach you all is if you continue to engage in the content that I put out, right? That's the only way we can trick the robots, right? We can trick the robots by making them believe that you are actually, well, not making them believe, letting them know that you are actually engaged in this content. Because otherwise, I saw something on Instagram where they said content that underperforms, the quality of the video changes, right? So the numbers and the OODA and the robots and the algorithm, y'all, they fucking shit up for a lot of people. So please engage with your artists and your creatives as much as possible, especially those of us who risk it all to speak truth to power. Speaking of speaking truth to power, you guys are probably going to have to catch me more on my WIRF.TV YouTube channel. Like I said, I'm working on finishing up this documentary that I've been working on for about 4.5 years. Well, I've been documenting my whole career, but specifically, I got to watch Smokey's video. I will. Absolutely. Thank you. See, that's what I'm saying. Like, Smokey's video didn't even come up in my algorithm. You feel me? And then a black woman with an angry black woman t-shirt on, a sweatshirt on, and rollers in my hair. Oh, they really don't want y'all to listen to me. But this doc is super raw and super transparent. And I was really kind of going back and forth just to keep it real with y'all about just how raw and transparent that I really actually was going to be, right? Because we have it all, from the very first day of this horrific ass journey fighting Lionsgate, Stars, Katori Hall, and P Valley for intellectual property infringement, right? I've been documenting it from day one, and it's really interesting because I said to myself say, I said, do you want to give it all to the people in this doc? Do you want to just, and then I watched the Megan Thee Stallion documentary. And I don't know if you have had an opportunity to get into the Meg Thee Stallion documentary. But let me just say this. I'm a hot girl. She coached me. I'm a hot girl. I still don't like WAP. I still don't like WAP. I still don't like it. I understand it better now, though. I understand. And not only do I understand WAP better, I also understand my coochie pink and my booty hole brown better. Right? Someone told me to look up the Red Sisters from the 1970s. You guys look it up. It'll enlighten you a bit. But back to Meg Thee Stallion's doc and how it parallels, what I'm experiencing in my life and how I learned a lot from watching Meg Thee Stallion's documentary. So many of you know Tory Lanez. I know Tory did Say It, which sampled Brownstone, right? Still ain't got no check, not a real one anyway, but Tory did Say It, and when the whole incident happened, and I've worked in the studio on Tory's album, creatively we spent some time together, even after what he did on the Say It project, and that'll be in the documentary as well. But I went from a phase of feeling really uncertain about the Tory Lanez thing, and it just felt like there was some details or whatever missing. Not that I thought anybody was lying, right? But just kind of like, okay, it's not my business. I wasn't there. That's the problem with Black entertainment. That's the problem with Black people in general. We love to see people falling apart. We watch the train wreck. That's the shit. The culturally incompetent white male lens sells us this entire idea that the only entertainment we can get is the very worst of who we are. But that's another conversation. I ain't getting on here to preach auntie with y'all. Watch the Meg Thee Stallion doc, and I realized that our lives paralleled in a lot of ways. I had no idea she lost her mother to brain cancer. Many of you are aware that my sister is fighting brain cancer. Please keep praying for her. It is a tough journey for our family. Part of the reason why I woke up angry as fuck and really wanted to just go off on somebody and be somebody's man. I'm not violent, but, I really wanted to just shake somebody is because I realized that what I'm going through, what my family's going through, my inability to deliver in other areas of my life because of this fucking lawsuit with Stars and Lionsgate and Katori Hall and P Valley. And yes, somebody's gonna screenshot this with the rollers and everything. Make sure you get my good side. It made me so angry. It made me angry that I could not be there for my sister. It makes me angry. I've spent a lot of time back and forth to Detroit, but I have a business to run. It makes me angry that now, sadly, I'm telling y'all this with rollers in my hair. Fuck it, we all here. I may have to shut down temporarily my streaming platform just because I'm in the middle of a litigation with a multi-billion-dollar company who took my shit. And rather than fall apart, I'm sharpening my sword figuratively, right? Although I was really considering Kill Bill as a costume. I was trying to decide between Lady Justice and Kill Bill, but then I said that's just OTT too much. And Lori Harvey did an excellent job. I saw her picture. She looked amazing. But I'm trying to, thank you, Calvin. I'm trying to stay calm because I know how close I am to getting this thing done. But it's so hard when you're watching things literally just fall apart in your life. And some people fall apart when things start to fall apart. I become a different person. It isn't even about money at this point because money is not going to change my sister's cancer diagnosis. Money will help me save my streaming platform that I've been working to build for the last 4 years, but I have to pause on because I have to fight these books. But money is not going to change. Money will also stop, some of the other terrible shit that's happening, the judgment in their favor and, all that other stuff. But that is the human side of me. Thank you. Y'all are reading my mind. Thank you, Natural Born Influence. That is the human side of me trying to control some shit that I know I can't control. It's like and I think, take a swallow. Okay. I think that what has contributed to this anxiety that I feel, and it's funny, I was watch that Meg Thee Stallion documentary, especially if you are a businesswoman, a creative, make sure you tune into that because, let me plug my phone in for a second, you guys. It's giving me the sign. Make sure y'all tune into that Meg Thee Stallion documentary because it just really speaks to a lot. The mental health and wellness of creatives and artists, the prejudgment that women face on a regular basis. Like I said, so many parallels. She was waiting for, a big trial where she was judged by the public in a very negative, toxic way. She was dealing with the fact that she lost a relative to brain cancer. She was dealing with the fact that she didn't know who to trust around her because people that she had known and trusted for many, many years stabbed her in the back. And, let me, in my curlers, in true auntie energy, let me apologize to Meg. Let me apologize to Meg, to Cardi, to Sexy, to any of the young sisters out here that I have fixed my lips to criticize or respectability politics, that I've engaged in or what appears to be, because that's not how I see it. But just the prejudgment. When I watched the documentary, I realized we have so much more in common than the differences, right? Being Black women in this industry, having to work through the trauma and work through the pain. Like, there's nothing I would rather do in my life right now than, she said, there was a point where she wanted to just lay in the bed and cry. And I think at a certain point she did. And at a certain point, whose story. There go our forever first, our BP, I'm sorry. She talked about, I'm not going to get a whole movie away because I want you guys to go and I want you to stream it because it's very, 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 very good. And don't not stream it because you think that it's super creative. I'm not going to tell y'all about some of the other little elements that were so fly, but as we've been in the Bay and I've been kind of editing over stuff, Meg's career, I think it covered the beginning of her career, but most of it focused on the trial. And that's what we've been trying to figure out, because I'm about to be 30 days away. Damn, y'all. I'm 30 days away from an oral hearing. What an oral hearing means, for those of you who don't know, is it means that some of y'all might remember, and I reposted it and I pinned it to my profile, and I'm going to repost that motherfucker again. But some of you probably remember when, I think it was December 7th, 2023, is when I got the call from my lawyer who told me that my case had been kicked out of the trial court. It had been dismissed on a summary judgment. Summary judgment is a very final, for a lot of people, judgment. It means that, it's over for most folks, right? But not for your girl, because, I just trust God and I'm telling the truth. And I believe that the judges will, the new judges, the appeals panel, which is the higher court, will see that. But December 6, 2023 is when I discovered that my case was dismissed by my judge, right? And I did a post, and now on December 5th, 2024, that is the date that I'm going before a panel of 3 judges. And that is almost 30 days from now. And I've been kind of, I understand Meg I don't know her level of fame and notoriety, because it's a different world and things go viral, and she has a much larger audience. I've had a longer audience. I've had more longevity, but she's had a much bigger audience, a much broader audience. And I hope she has 30 years of longevity as well in her career. But my point is just looking at some of the parallels and realizing how difficult it is to be going through a major trial, to be going through major legal shit, to be losing people around you that you thought you could trust, friends that you had your whole life, that you realize, the relationships were transactional, right? Speaks to transactional relationships, right? And I'm gonna talk a little bit about that on a YouTube live. You gotta understand that. Hold on, let me put it in here. Because you have to be real careful about the words you use and the things that you say. Because, and then, people be reporting, they be reporting my Instagrams, and they be reporting my my YouTube channel, trying to get me demonetized, and I don't know who's doing it. I don't know who's doing it. Trolls, of course, but you can report anybody. You can flag anybody. You can say anybody's out here doing terrible shit. I was watching the streamer today, just kind of learning more about millennials, Kai Sanat, and he had some folks come, the folks came knocking at his door during the live stream, because some clown, or maybe not a clown, maybe they had a legitimate response, complaint, but somebody called the people on him while he was live, and it temporarily had him restricted from Twitch or whatever. So the OODA, the owners of the algorithm, the powerful people who have all the money to engage AI like a motherfucker, right? To get AI to write stories about. I'm looking up, I'm seeing all these crazy ass stories and shit. I'm I am so glad I'm 54 and I don't care about people who don't care about me. That is the key to success in life. Learn who your tribe is. Lean into your tribe, and especially those of us who work in entertainment and media. You want to come by there? Come on. Don't worry about being live. I'm going to let them see this real quick. You can come over here. I'm not going to let the people capture you. It's my husband. I'm not going to let the people capture you. They're capturing everything anyway. So I just noticed that, especially, right, somebody just said during an election season, they watching everything, especially people who make sense. Now, if you running around here talking outside of your neck, making shit up, adding to the degradation of the community, they're going to amplify you. They're going to put you at the top of the chat. They're going to make sure 569 million people see your message, just because that is the tool that the incompetent motherfuckers use to keep their foot on our necks. But let me tell y'all something. It is going to become more apparent. I'm trying not to talk too much about the election because I got rollers in my hair, but whatever. Vote Kamala, because that's what I'm doing. And if you don't, please let me know. So you can unfollow me and I can unfollow you. Because if you voting for the other person in this particular election, we don't need to. It's cool. I don't care. I don't care if I got 5 followers when I'm done. As long as I know them 5 followers did not vote for Donald Trump, they voted for Kamala Harris. They care about democracy. They care about black women. They care about us having control over our bodies and all that other shit. I don't care if I end up with 5 of y'all. You're really not supposed to do that, right? People be real funny about losing supporters and stuff. You know, a lot of people don't care who you support as long as you support them, right? But I care that you support Kamala Harris. And if you don't, then I would suggest that you just hit unfollow. Because if I find out your ass voted for Kamala Harris, if we not married and blood related and I can't just get rid of you because of that, you out of there. But back to the doc and the anxiety and coming to terms with how important it is for us to support one another. Watching the Meg Thee Stallion doc, and my husband actually, I made him watch it with me last night, and he actually really enjoyed it as well. And he was like, I like her. And I felt the same way. We get so caught up in judging people based on narratives that are put out there by people who don't care about us. I've been talking about the culturally incompetent white male lens for a very long time, right? Because I learned early on with R&B divas, and hopefully by now y'all done learned too. Okay? I hope y'all have learned that it is a whole bunch of smoke and mirrors. It is a whole bunch of bullshit. It is a whole bunch of narratives that they want you to believe that will aid in the division and the conquering of a community. Because the fact that so many women in this industry don't deal with each other, don't like each other, just look at the R&B divas alone. Imagine. Imagine. We see how Vice President Kamala Harris has been able to leverage celebrities and really get people engaged, and at the end of the day, that's what she's supposed to do. Meet the people where they are, whether they are listening to Cardi B or Glorilla or Alicia Keys or John Legend or whomever. Meet the people where they are. This country is not about judging others. This country is not about condemning others. This country is not about preventing others from gaining opportunity. It is about embracing us as individuals, as a melting pot. A country that's built on immigrants and black folks and white folks and Jewish people, right? And just accepting and meeting people where they are and supporting each other and having them support you. I love the fact that she has everybody represented. And the truth of the fact of the matter is it's seeing Glorilla and it's seeing Cardi and it's seeing all these other artists that is motivating our millennials and our Gen Zers and our next generation of leaders to get out to the polls and to actually vote, right? I want to violate her privacy because, honey, my child is Brandy, my child, grown ass woman. She's very private, but I was so geeked when she was like, oh yeah, I'm about to do such, and then I'm going to vote. And then I was like, oh my God, they're going to vote. Because she's listening to people that she can relate to that are letting her know how important it is. So all that to say, this space of judgment and sitting up high, looking down low, and all this other shit that the black community just engages in all the time, we really got to get past that. Once Kamala wins, because yes, she's going to win. Got a ton of anxiety about it, but Kamala Harris is going to be the first woman president of the United States, the first black woman president of the United States, and y'all going to have to suck it up and deal with it. Hey, Soror. Yes. Okay, here we go. We gonna talk about that tomorrow. You guys, I'm going live tomorrow, and we're gonna go live Tuesday as well because we want to keep people motivated. Tonight, I'm actually going to do a re-air of an episode that we produced right after the DNC, I believe. So you guys can take a look at that. It's a lot of great information there. And then tomorrow I will be live on my YouTube, and I'll probably put this live on my YouTube since my long-winded ass went longer than I expected. But Georgia, Michigan, Pennsylvania, and Wisconsin are very heavy battleground states. Georgia, Michigan, PA, and Wisconsin, we need y'all to show up. We need you guys to show up. We know that there's the Electoral College. We know so many other variables. We don't need this to be an election that is one of those, determined by a few votes. We need this to be a land motherfucking slide. We need it to be a landslide, right? Because that is unmotherfucking hinged. Hard D. Heavy on the H. The opponent has already told y'all what he finna do. If you out here trying to prove a point, to prove that you different, to prove that you get along better with the white people because you deep down inside your whole life, Candace Owens wanted to be one. Perhaps, I don't know. I'm just allegedly. That's how you be acting, sis. This isn't the time for you to do it. This is not the time for you to flex your, I am an independent and I can make my own decisions and whatever skills. This is the time for you to cast your ballot for the first time in hundreds of years. Think about it. We ain't never had anybody get this close to actually being able to be a representation of what this country really is, which is a melting pot. A place where opportunity and dreams, the American dream, is real. A place where home ownership can be a real thing for so many people who never had the opportunity. A place where childcare and elder care. I mean, come on. Y'all heard I had a bad day. Had a bad day today because I'm thinking about the fact that I want to be with my sister right now and not going over briefs preparing for this oral hearing. No, I want to be going over briefs preparing for the oral hearing. But y'all understand what I'm saying. I'd like to be in a position to be able to be more accessible and available to my family. But instead, I'm fighting a corporation with billions of dollars that's about the FAAFO because we are going to win this appeal in 30 days, period. God said. So as we are thinking about who we are going to vote for, your last opportunity, your real opportunity to show your voice, right? Yes, I saw him imitate the BJ at his rally. And that is why I said he is unmotherfucking hinged. Crazy. Period. And it's not funny. And ordinarily I would be like, why are we even circulating that? But I need all of these shenanigans to go everywhere, right? And that is why I say with my whole chest and my whole heart, if you are casting a ballot for the opposition, unfollow me now. Just click unfollow, unsubscribe. I don't want your support. I don't want you to amen corner me or give me any hearts, because if you can't see how important this election is to me and to every other human being on the face of this earth who cares about equality and democracy and being able to take care of our families and feed our families and have control over our own bodies, and for our youth and our grandkids and our daughters to have at least the same amount of rights that we had, definitely not fewer rights than we have, then we have nothing in common. There's no point for you to be following me. And I don't understand the whole politically correct. No, you shouldn't separate or isolate. No, I want to separate and isolate. I need to know at this phase of my life who is in my space. Even if I don't know you personally, that energy, I don't need the energy of a heart or a support or a subscription or nothing if you are not prepared to cast a vote for Kamala Harris on Tuesday. I might end up with no followers. I mean, shit, I don't be able to reach but 3 of y'all anyway. And the 3 that I'm reaching, I want to know that we're all on the same page as far as that's concerned. I'm just tired. I'm tired of pretending that this shit is okay, right? Curlers and all. Lips chapped and everything. Rolling necks and sucking teeth and all of it. Tired. So watch the Meg Thee Stallion video. And no, he really did do that. Oh my goodness. Thank you for the badge. Thank you for the badge. Yeah, I'm really just in a season of my life. Cheryl girlfriend, I'm sorry. Thank you so much for the badge. I really appreciate it. I'm just in a season where I'm just not doing it no more. I'm not pretending no more with nobody. Like, not even just as it relates to this election. I got the realest shit ever going on in my life, right? Like many of us do, but I got like extra extraneous real shit going on in my life. And I just don't have the patience, the wherewithal, the desire to pretend anymore. I'm going deeper into my real shit. So brace yourselves. It's going to be a bumpy ride. I'm going deeper into fighting for justice and creatives. And speaking of fighting for justice and creatives, I have to say this real quick because it's very, very, very important. So this is a great example of why it's important to not just think about yourself. when you are going through a battle or going through a challenge. That is why this case against Lionsgate stars Katori Hall and P Valley, right? This is why I'm as vocal as I am, and this is why I am so committed to making sure that you know that Lionsgate, Katori Hall, P Valley, who else is it? All of them, stars, all of them. This is why it's so important that you understand the truth, right? There is a sister, and I say sister, she lives in Rome, I want to say, or I don't know where she lives, but I think she may be from Rome. And surprisingly, she is Ringo Starr's bonus daughter, right? So her name is Francesca. Her name is Francesca Gregorini, I think I want to say it. And I had heard about her case because my lawyers actually, here we go with the bullshit, y'all, right? I'd heard about her case because my lawyers actually referenced her case and the way the judicial system works. That is the reason why it's super duper important when you have such an important case that could really set precedent and change things right across the board. It's important to go forward. So because your case could be referenced to help someone else. And Francesca Gregorini is a director and a writer. And she wrote a film project called The Truth About Emmanuel. I believe that is what it was called. The Truth About Emmanuel. She did it in 2013. It went to several film festivals, right? Did very, very well. She had A-list talent in this film. And suddenly, all of a sudden, in true Hollywood misogynistic powers that be, we just gonna take your shit at a discounted rate and not pay you anything fashion. She looked up and realized, much like I did, that her movie, The Truth About Emmanuel, is substantially similar, very, very, very similar, very much the same as a film called, as a TV series called The Servant, which is on Apple TV. So, allegedly, this is all alleged, Francesca, who is super dope writer from what I've seen online, she did what I did. She filed a lawsuit. She filed a lawsuit in a court of law. She filed her lawsuit January 15, 2020. It's crazy. My lawsuit was filed January 12, 2022. Don't get it twisted, though. My litigation process started in July of 2020, right? We were just going back and forth trying to be nice and shit. Trying not to be two black women going back and forth. I was trying to give Katori Hall every opportunity possible to, save us both the embarrassment. Let me take a sip of water because I feel the ratchet coming on with the rollers and everything. Might not be good luck. But she filed a litigation, and right after she filed her litigation, the same court, Central District of California. That's my dog on a bone, you guys. If y'all wonder what that loud sound is, it's him going in on this bone sitting beside me. But she filed her litigation, and the court dismissed it. The court dismissed her case, even though the story is pretty much the same, about a lady who hires a nanny to take care of a doll. Now, if that ain't some unique shit, I'm creative, but I wouldn't have thought. I mean, that was a very unique idea. Her movie was about a woman who's, I guess, allegedly the mother is grieving for her dead child, and she gets this doll and believes the doll is the child, so she hires a nanny, this beautiful young nanny, to take care of the doll, and one thing leads to another, and blah, 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 blah. And apparently the first 3 episodes of this show on Apple with M. Night Shyamalan, Katori Hall, in my story, that's who M. Night Shyamalan would be. His first 3 episodes are the same as hers. So they dismissed her case. Not only did they dismiss her case, right? They also charged her legal fees for bringing the case into court. They charged Francesca legal fees. Francesca spoke out about it on Twitter, on Instagram. I think a few outlets covered it, but I hadn't really heard about it in detail. And the whole time I was going through this thing that is very, very much very similar to what Francesca's going through. You know, my story becomes a TV show. I hit the people, blah, 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 blah. They dismiss it. Now they're charging me legal fees. Same thing happened. Well, Francesca went to an oral hearing with the Ninth Circuit, which is the appeals court in California. The appeals court said that a trier of fact could, in fact, see that there are some similarities and that this is a matter for a jury. So Francesca's case got through the dismissal, which is a 12B. That's the first way they try to dismiss it, which they tried to dismiss mine on 12B when it was in Atlanta. But the judge in Atlanta said, no. We're going to move it to California, but we're not going to dismiss it. So then they issued a summary judgment on my case, which is what I talked about earlier. That means it's a wrap. Same thing is happening with Francesca. So I watched Francesca's hearing yesterday, or it was yesterday or day before yesterday, as a member of the media. And she's in with a different judge in the Central District, which is a blessing. Bottom line is, when you go through appeal, you still have to go back to the same judge. So I'm probably going to end up back with the same judge even after I get through appeal, right? Which, you know, he's already said he doesn't believe me. So I'm like, I don't know how that works, but, you know, it's the law, right? The law says even after I get through appeal, I have to go back to the same judge, which is why I have to be careful about being on Live with Rollers and talking about my case, because I don't, you know, they screen recording this live so they can send the live to the judge, because they done screen recorded most of my lives. You know, if you go look at my case, they be like, they got pictures, and some of y'all might even show up on this, so be careful what you say. But yeah, they give it to the judge and be like, hi, look what she's doing, right? Yeah, I'm venting because it's the most difficult shit in the whole world to have somebody just take something from you and have to wait years and years and years and be bullied throughout the whole process. And I'm just one that's going to talk about it. So, needless to say, Francesca Gregorini, who is fighting another multi-billion-dollar corporation, she has an excellent team, by the way, might actually get her day at trial. Based on where things are left. And I don't think I can say too much about it because it says that you can't, I know I can't repost it and all the other stuff. Y'all got to just get into this whole legal system and how this thing works. But the judge seemed to be very, you know, fair and allowed them to, you know, she has a lot of great questions, and I never got a chance to argue in front of my judge. So to actually see somebody with the same kind of case, another woman who alleges that a corporation took her idea and ran with it, to actually see her and her attorneys get a chance to argue the case in court and, you know, say, and now mind you, they weren't arguing before a jury. They were arguing because the defendants are now trying to take her back to appeals court by filing a summary judgment. The appeals court already said, no, this needs to go to trial. But the way, and I'm getting somewhere with this, you guys, so follow me. There is a light at the end of this tunnel. But the way the judicial system is set up, right? Defendants who typically have billions of dollars because they're major corporations versus plaintiffs who ain't really got shit, because we're trying to build our careers up and risking never working in this industry again because we're challenging people for our intellectual properties, which are preeminent business assets that allow us to pass down generational wealth and wellness to our families. Yet I digress. These people have the ability to just keep dragging this thing out for court. Francesca has been fighting this in court for 5 years. She's been fighting this for 5 years against a major corporation who just still does not want her to get to trial. Because when she does, that is when the level playing field happens. That is when jurors, real actual people with their own brains and their own opinions, who can look at stuff, look at facts, look at, you know, not all that. They got this thing called scenes of prayer. Nobody really can explain to me what scenes of prayer means, but it's something that was created, in my opinion, to help big companies get away with taking shit from little people. It just basically means, oh, you'd find that anywhere. Now, I don't know how a story about a mom who's grieving a child and there's a doll and the She hires a nanny, and there's an issue with the nanny, and I don't know how that just happens everywhere. I don't know how the story of a venue in a neighborhood owned by LGBTQIA person and the antagonist that's homophobic, and the building is up for grabs in a casino and all this shit. I don't know how that's just a regular story. But the people who have the power, the control, and the money, they continue to drag you through all of these made up ass terms and shit that become law. And if you don't have the financial wherewithal to actually compete with the big billion-dollar companies, which very few people do, you just have to have the heart. And I want to take this opportunity to give flowers to this sister. And I call her a sister because at the end of the day, she knows what I'm going through, because she's going through the same thing right now. A different project, different scenarios, different circumstances, but she's going through the same thing, being dragged through a system where they're dismissing her case and not giving her the right to a trial. It is our, Sixth Amendment right, Seventh Amendment right, somebody help me out with it, to a fair trial. It says every human being on the face of this earth deserves, even Diddy, deserves a fair trial. Because big corporations have a way of manipulating things based on their long ass money, right? They just can just, it's like Sony. No shade, but tell the truth. We sold 3.5 million hard copies of the album at $10 a piece. That's $35 million. And I still owe them people $1 million. And guess what? I can't do shit about it, because it will cost me a few $1,000,000 at the very least to fight to prove what is obvious. It says here 3.5 million records sold. $10 a pop these records were sold for. That's $35 million. That's simple math. So you're saying I owe you $36 million before I can get one of those millions of dollars of the records that I've sold? And then we are difficult. We are problems because we're speaking up, because we're looking at things. I got 57 plus comparisons. I gave my script to the CEO of the company that produces P Valley. He said he liked the name Tata Burlesque, which means auntie. He said he was going to go home and read the script with his family and get back to me. Never did, and P Valley came along. But none of those circumstantial details matter because of the way the law is set up for us to fail, set up for plaintiffs to lose. So why am I on this long-winded ass rant about Francesca and how her story, and Meg, and how her story parallels my story and the litigation and of it all? Is women in this business, women in this industry have been treated so poorly since the day we got here. The misogyny, the bullying, the leveraging your money and power to ruin our lives and create horrible rumors. Y'all remember what they did to me on R&B Divas? And yes, they did that to me. It wasn't me just being super bitch. Anybody who knows me knows I'm cool as fuck. It was them culturally incompetent white male lens having ass who leveraged their power to divide and conquer on something that was so amazing and so beautiful. Same as they have manipulated the opportunity to take advantage of Francesca, allegedly. Same reason why when I watch Meg Thee Stallion struggle through the loss of her mother and being victimized by the press and all these people publicly, even though she's going through hell, trying to figure out how to continue to maintain. And she said something really important. She said, I'm tired of smiling. I'm tired of being fake. I'm paraphrasing, but the whole energy of it was, got my phone, let me charge it, because there we go again. I know, he's killing that thing. She said something to one of her handlers, and she said, what good is it if I lose my mind? I'm trying not to lose my mind, right? And that is the thing that I've learned that I have to lean on, because all the things that are happening in my life right now, all the stress that has been going on, I've literally been in sort of a perpetual loop of trauma. It started when I lost Maxie in 2015. This is 10 years later. It actually started, let me go back. It's longer than 10 years. It started the day I got into this whack ass industry and was labeled difficult because I fought for what was right, and I didn't allow anybody to piss on me and tell me it was raining, right? So y'all gonna learn that those of us who have been labeled difficult for many, many years, since the early 90s when all the manipulation and misogyny began for most of us, a lot of us, you're going to find that we have been labeled difficult and problems because we did not acquiesce to shit that we did not want to do and we did not think was fair. You'll find that people that, are very successful, quote unquote, in this industry and get top dollar for everything and all the opportunities and shit, brace yourselves. I'm glad they're waiting until after this election, as they should. They really need to wait till after this election to really, open up the floor, because we don't need the distraction. We need everybody to go vote. But if you have been a woman in this industry, a black woman in particular in this industry, then you understand what it means to be suffering abuse your entire career. And I felt so bad watching Meg's doc, because I was like thinking to myself, she was just like, I just don't know who to trust. I don't, really know who to talk to. I don't know who understands. Like, yeah, your cousins and your family and your people that have been around you for a long time, they're there for you. But it takes someone who understands this whack ass business. This destructive, this video gonna be so funny. Between my dog chewing on that bone, my rollers, and my energy, yeah, it's definitely gonna be one for the books. But you need someone who understands it at a different level. And unfortunately, so many of us who do understand it at that level, so many of us who could be there to help, who could be big sisters, big aunties, whatever, they keep those young artists and creatives away from people like us who really care, people like us who could potentially really help, make the journey a lot easier. They keep us separated, much like these people that I'm fighting for my intellectual property are probably not happy about the fact that I've discovered Francesca Gregorini and the fact that I can reference what she's had to go through in her intellectual property fight and how she's been advocating for creatives and how she's been bullied out of her intellectual property, allegedly, right? And I can hope that the same appeals court who heard her, who will be hearing me, see the similarities in our cases and agree to allow me to go forward, right? And we're able to set precedent that will help other young creatives and other young people who will be facing this ultimately. Right now, I understand what they're trying to do these days is get AI to do everything so you don't have to pay creatives, right? So a lot of y'all in Hollywood that are relying on your money as a writer and relying on the Copyright Act to protect you from things, this whole AI situation is going to be one that you're going to have to navigate. But for those of you who have already written those masterpieces like P-Valley and The Servant, i.e. Soul Kittens Cabaret and The Truth About Emmanuel. For those of you who have created intellectual properties that have generated millions and millions, I'll never forget. I keep listening over and over in my head and replaying, and I won't stop replaying it until this shit is over. The CEO of Star saying, we gave Katori Hall $100 million for P-Valley. We gave Katori Hall $100 million for P-Valley. Imagine what that feels like when you have a sister with brain cancer and you have to make a determination as to whether or not you can get there to be there as often as you want to be because you're in the middle of a litigation where you have been fined $1 million damn near for standing up for yourself, where you have to make sure that your house doesn't get foreclosed upon because Lionsgate stars Katori Hall and P-Valley got away with some shit that they shouldn't have got away with, as far as I'm concerned. Imagine the stress and the anger and the hostility that you have to compartmentalize, knowing that someone has taken something from you, laughed in your face about it, and got a cherry on top that said, don't come in this courtroom standing up for yourself no more, or we're going to take everything you got again. Imagine that. Imagine what that feels like. And the anxiety of knowing that in less than a month, that's almost going to be a year to the date that I discovered that my case was dismissed, I'm going before another set of judges. hoping and praying that these judges believe that I deserve a right to a fair trial. That is my right as a citizen of the United States of America. And if you think for 5 minutes that elections don't matter, consider this. It is the judges on the appeals court and the judges in the district court that make decisions about situations like mine and Francesca's. Those judges are appointed for their entire lives until they decide they're ready to go. Right? I want y'all to take me seriously, even though I got these rolls in my hair, because I ain't taking the rolls out of my hair to make this point. And please excuse the dog. I know he get louder and louder on this bone. And then I'm going to go and I want you guys to go to WIRF.tv and watch the She Speaks Live episode we did after the DNC, which is a re-air. But keep in mind as you go and you vote, for those of you who have been supporting me through this process. Hey, Pam, talking about that hearing I watched the other day and how much inspiration I got from it. Well, the things I can say about it anyway. Judges are appointed for a lifetime. Presidents choose these people. If you want fairness and equality and opportunity and lack of misogyny and lack of corporate greed and, what is it they call it? Justice shopping and all that other stuff. It's just, they stay on the bench for their whole lives. There is someone in their 90s right now. And listen, here's the thing. There's a fine line between speaking facts that are out here for the whole public to be able to see for themselves. And some people considering it, me being shady or trying to read. I'm not being shady or trying to read, even though I got pink curlers in my hair right now. Think about the 90-year-old person in your family, whether it's grandma, great grandma, whatever, you know what I'm saying? At some point, these people need to rest. At some point, these people need to relax. At some point, these people need to have the opportunity to just be seniors. When they're still making decisions that change the trajectory of people's lives for generations, even if you are super, super, super sharp and smart and on it and the best of the best, folks get tired, I can imagine, around 75 or 80. That's why they call it retirement. In every other area of work, like no shade and no disrespect, but like, would you want like an 85 or 90-year-old doctor performing surgery? I mean, no disrespect, because God forbid if it's an 85 or 90-year-old doctor that got to save my life and he know what he doing, let him do it, Lord. But let's just be real about it. So as we're going to the ballot box on Tuesday, there are a lot of things we can consider. We can consider the fact that a lot of first-time homeowners will have the opportunity to do this. Right, that's what I'm saying. D. Tuckle said, I'm tired of this shit now. I'm 54 and I'm ready to retire. Right? I'm tired. Tired is a better way to say it. That's why I take these rollers out. Because at a certain point, you just get to a point where you just don't care. You're just like, I'm grown as hell. I'm married. I love my husband. I got my soulmate. He loved me. My grandson loved me. I don't care what people think about these rollers. Now, these rollers could go on to see billions of people someday. But the point is, you just get to a point where you just kind of don't, you're tired. You need a break. You need to relax. And there's so many people right now making decisions about people's lives that need a break. And the truest way to accomplish that, the most effective, impactful way to accomplish that, is to make sure that you vote down the ballot on Tuesday. Make sure that you vote for Kamala Harris on Tuesday. And Walls, make sure you do that, please. You need to, please. Because I feel, and many others who have made the decision to check Kamala Harris, believe that it will give our company, well, America is kind of like a company, right? Our country, a fair shot at making things more equal and fair and balanced for everyone, not just black women, because that's what a lot of y'all scared of. A lot of y'all scared of the black girl magic being everywhere. Y'all scared of us getting extra cocky. I see it now. We pulling out our suits. Yes, we're going to be rocking our suits. Yes, we're going to be rocking our silk presses, bang to the side. Yes, we're going to be giving a whole vibe. It's going to be a little extra bossy and flossy. But we're also going to remain those loving, caring, smart, dependable, reliable, deserving women that run the households in America and make everything better for everybody. Difference is, it's going to be a woman in the highest office of the land, and y'all just going to have to deal with the fact that everything is going to change because of it. So I encourage all of you who are not voting for Kamala Harris to unfollow me today. I just don't want to be bothered. I'm looking forward to celebrating this victory in a matter of days. I am looking forward to celebrating Francesca Gregorini winning her opportunity to go to trial. I plan to be present every day of the trial if I can. And I am hopeful that her positive result will impact the decisions that are made in my case, because that is how the judicial system works. When one person succeeds and is allowed to set precedent, then it helps make it a lot easier for the next person. That is how I view this election. That is how I am viewing my case. I hope to God that anybody and everybody who is following me is voting blue on Tuesday if you have not already. If you have, whoop whoop, kudos to you. I remember what it felt like when Donald Trump was elected the last time. The feeling in my stomach and in my spirit was one that I never want to feel again. Let's not be sick on Tuesday because we didn't vote for Kamala Harris. Because if we don't vote for Kamala Harris, if you ain't sick on Tuesday, your ass gonna be sick eventually. And when you discover that the Affordable Health Care Act is done, when you discover that they getting rid of the Department of Education, when you discover that you not only are you not getting $25,000 to buy a house, but they gonna snatch your shit up in a heartbeat just because corporate America does not care about you that way. If it don't make dollars, it does not make sense for them. And that is just not the country that we can live in anymore. I understand the economy is super important, but more important than the economy right now is the mental health and wellness of this country and the people in it. More important than me winning this case is my mental health and wellness so that I can live to fight another day, so that I can continue to fight for other young creatives who deserve the opportunity, like Francesca Gregorini and this project that she created that is now going to go to trial. We praying. She's going to find out very soon, hopefully before the holidays, the way she's fighting for us. This is super duper important. And even if you can't relate to me as a creative and my fight in this judicial system, there's no reason I should not have been allowed to go to trial, but we're going to find out in, like I said, December 5th. And you guys, very important note, you can watch this all play out live. It will be streamed because the Ninth Circuit believes that people should have the opportunity to see how their courts are making decisions, to hear how people are able to argue and fight for themselves. So you guys will be able to hear why Lionsgate thinks that it's not similar and why we think that it is. It is December 5th, which is exactly 2 days and a year since I got dismissed in the district court. And baby, once they give both me and Francesca the ability to go forward to trial, Trust me when I tell you, it is going to change so much for creatives. Because hopefully what it will mean is that companies don't feel like they can just take something from you and make millions and hundreds of millions of dollars off of it and not pay the person who came up with it. Hopefully they will start negotiating the proper deals with the actual creators who created these shows that are doing well for them and not take these things from them. And I would venture to ask, I don't know if this is the case in Francesca's story or not, but ownership, you guys, whether it is ownership of intellectual property, ownership of real estate, ownership of your business, ownership of your emotions and your mental health, ownership is the most valuable thing you can have in this country. Nothing else matters. We see from the Diddy situation, if Diddy owned Ciroc, if Diddy owned half the stuff that he's out here promoting, ownership is everything. Real property, real estate, and intellectual property ownership. It changes the game. It is our American right. And that is why I'm fighting. Because trust me, baby, there are many days where I wake up and be like this. I want to just be with my sister. I want to just be with my family. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to have this fight. I don't want to deal with this every day. But I understand how important it is to stick this thing out no matter what happens. So that even if, God forbid, I don't get the opportunity that every American deserves to go to trial and go in front of a jury before trials of fact. Even if I don't get that opportunity, I will have left a blueprint, shared a blueprint about the do's, the don'ts, the wills, the won'ts, the struggle, the successes. And it will be there for future generations of people who want to fight and stand up for themselves. Not everybody wants to do that. I just hope more people do. And the fight starts Tuesday. Michigan, Pennsylvania, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Where else? Y'all know them battleground states. Tell your people, call your people who live in those states and tell them to go out and vote. All right, so I'm going to stop rambling with my rollers. I wonder, y'all want me to see if my hair, I'm going to leave it be. We're going to let it cook a little more. Speaking of let it cook, I love that song by Glow. Don't y'all love that record? All right, let me go finish cooking dinner for my family. Please go to wirf.tv.com. I'm about to actually air an episode of She Speaks Live where we had a lot to say about how important it is to vote for Kamala Harris. And if you're not voting for Kamala Harris, unfollow me, please. Today, don't waste no time doing it. Just unfollow me if you're not voting for Kamala Harris. I don't want to discuss. It ain't nothing to discuss. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, well, that's not everybody should have their right to their own. At this point, the rubber has met the road. If you're not voting for Kamala Harris, I mean, who wants, do you really want to follow this? Unfollow. I'm tired. I ain't arguing with nobody. I'm just telling you. Please vote for Kamala Harris, and not just Kamala Harris. Vote blue all the way down the ballot. We'll figure all that other stuff out come January. But come tomorrow, Tuesday and tomorrow, I just need y'all to vote for Kamala Harris. That's it. All right. And I need you guys to go and stream Brownstone. And if you're not voting for Kamala Harris, you ain't got to stream Brownstone neither. That's just how real it is over here. Because anybody who contributes to that man getting into this highest office of the land and forever changing what it means to be a woman and a black person or a minority in this country, voting for a king. If you're voting for a king, then I need you to unfollow me. That's all. All right. So as you can see, feeling a little ratchet today. Feeling a little F around to find out today. And hoping and praying that you guys continue to do what is right in a world where a whole lot of people are doing crazy shit. Because at the end of the day, what is right is always a better choice than Donald Trump. All right, y'all. Let me stop rambling. If you're just catching this YouTube this Instagram live, you can go on ahead and go over to my Worth.tv YouTube, and I'm going to repost it there so you can watch the wretchedity from the beginning. But also watch Meg Thee Stallion's doc. I learned a lot. And I am going to do better about judging other women, because even though I still don't like WAP, I love Meg. I love Glorilla. I love Sexy Red. I don't even know them. Cardi, I love them all. I just want them to continue to leverage and use those platforms to empower women to be powerful. And one thing I learned watching that Meg documentary is that she is a powerful young sister. And she ain't doing nothing wrong. Like she said, we're judging prematurely. And that's not good. All right, guys. Anyway, go vote. Love you guys. And don't be an angry black woman. Be passionate like me. Child, when my husband see this, he gonna talk about me so bad. But he still love me though. Peace.